I want to talk about the relationship with Aaron and yahawashi, where forgiveness of sins is concerned, right? Most people are under the Catholic belief system when it comes on to the scriptures. Most people believe they are covered under the blood of yahawashi, right? Some people also worship him, which is unlike scriptures, right? Now we have to understand that grace and mercy they have been here from the beginning, from inception. Noah found grace in the sight of the Most High, right? Adam, mercy was shown after his transgression, because the scripture said he was naked. Naked means that he was in transgression, right? In verse 21 of chapter 3, it says the Most High made them coats of skin. That's where the animal sacrifices for sins were initiated at that point. So when he slew the animal, he covered under the coat of skin. That was saying, no, you are protected. No, you are under my protection. Just like what happened in Egypt. The Most High did the same thing. You slew this animal, the Passover, you go inside, whatever. No, you are protected. You're under my protection. You follow these instructions, you're under my protection now. So we understand that grace and mercy is nothing new. No, dealing with Aaron, right? From the point of leaving Egypt, he was doing priestly work right throughout that time. But he was fully initiated into the covenant of a priest when he was sanctified, consecrated, and anointed in the sight of the people according to the law. So that was the landmark to say this is it, right? When I say landmark, I mean something that when you look upon it, you understand exactly what it symbolizes. For example, a new day. Each time you see a dawn, you know that's a new day. That's the landmark for that, right? So with the priesthood, there was a carnal commandment, so you had to come through Aaron's lineage to be a priest. So even though Moses was a Levite, his sons could not be a priest. That was a carnal commandment, right? Now, when you're dealing with priests and kings, a lot of people do not understand the law or the instructions regarding these things. No, Yahawashi was neither a priest nor a king. And that's going to be very hard for people to understand because they don't understand the law, right? Like I said, to be a priest, you have to come from the lineage of Aaron, not just Levite, Aaron. To be a Levite, you can have other responsibilities in the temple, but to be a priest, you have to come from his lineage, right? Now, kingship, it was of course in the lineage of Judah, but the dynasty came to an end after the sons of Josiah were. So that was the last, when they went into Babylon, that was the end of the kingship of the Judaic dynasty. So there's no other king that came after Josiah's sons. So we need to understand that. So Yahawashi was not a priest and he was not a king, right? However, in the book of Ezekiel, the Most High had promised that he would just give forgiveness of sins completely, utterly. Like there would just be this forgiveness of sins. But it was for an appointed time. When did this happen? Yahawashi was that landmark. So when we see him, when we know of him, we understand that, okay, there's a new covenant that we're going to be initiated into, because what? The nation was going to come to an end at that point. So while he was here, it was slowly being ushering in, but it was finalized at his passing when he was unalive. That was the final landmark to say, okay, this is the point where this forgiveness of sin was, ushering out on the people. When we were initiated into that covenant, that was the starting of part of the new covenant, not in total, but part of it. Because remember, the Most High talks about divorce in Jeremiah. How did we get married to him in the first place? Through a covenant, right? He divorced us. Now, what did he marry us to? He did not marry the nation of Israel, the people of Israel, the children of Israel, to Yahawashi. We are now married to his word. From the beginning, it was always the relationship with the Most High and the seers, the prophets like Moses, Samuel, and all of these people. It was always like that. Now we are left with what? The word. This is how he speaks to his people today, through Torah, through his laws. So the very instructions from the first 5 books is what we are married to. Other things from other prophets are warnings. Okay, turn away from your evil ways and all of these things. Those are warnings. But the instructions are is about the covenant that's in the first 5 books. Now again, dealing with grace and mercy, right? If you understand grace and mercy, what do you have to do to obtain that? Nothing. So it's the same. He did not choose Abraham because Abraham was living a righteous life, or because Abraham was doing that. It was just the Most High's choosing. So it's the same. He's going to give us forgiveness of sin. Guess what? It has nothing to do with the passing of yahawashi. Because if it was yahawashi's work, then that means it would no longer be grace or mercy. You're working for something. So there's a difference between a promise. So that was given to us because it was promised, just as he did with Abraham. So yahawashi embodied the word, embodied Torah. It's the same way we, in the like manner, should embody truth, embody Torah, embody the word. And that is part of our initiation into this covenant.